I'm Ben Knott and I work for the Wine Us Foundation. Wine Us Foundation is a Rivers Trust charity that for many years has been helping support farmers try and strike the balance between environmental sustainability and food production. One of the ways we've found successful in doing this is the undersowing of maize crops. Maize is a prolific crop across the catchment, with crops being used for food production and energy crops. So we've come here to Manor Farm on the River Arrow in North Hereford to look at the service in action. Let's go meet the farmer.
We're basically a cattle and cereal farm. We grow the maize to feed the cattle back to. We're farming about 600 acres, third generation farm we are. We've been at Cornhill now for 70, 80 years.
And we were undersowing the maize today. We've got the drill out in the field at the moment. What sort of brought you to doing the undersowing service?
Well, through the Wine Us Foundation, they advised me to do it. I think it's a good thing to do. As you can see, we're right by the river, so it keeps all the nutrients and everything in the field by undersowing it. And also the advantage we have, we're keeping the nutrients in, but also that we've got some grazing for the sheep come the new year.
Have you done much else with the Arrow River being nearby? And
yes, well, we're sort of fenced away from the Arrow all the way across, so none of the livestock can get into the Arrow. Big margins, because of course we are on this floodplain, which in the winter months it can all be underwater, so it's only spring planting we can do down here.
What's the sort of plan for this crop and the grass that's going to come after the maize?
So basically, well, hopefully this is the earliest variety we can plant. We'll hopefully sort of harvest it sort of come October time, then leave it over for the winter months until about January, February, and then we'll put some sheep on here to graze it off, and then put it back in the spring, back into another crop of maize.
We're here with Nick from Field Options, and we're going to go through some of the bits that we need to set up for this operation.
We try and get in with the drill when the maize is between sort of your 6 to 8 leaf stage. We can go as early as 4 and 5 leaves on the maize, but we like to leave it a bit longer. Also, this coincides with any herbicide program that the growers need to do on the maize.
What are the best ground conditions to use when we come in to do this job?
Pretty much like this, really. It does work better on cultivated ground, so most maize is obviously being drilled in a conventional seed bed. So, you know, good sort of tilth between the rows like this is. That's where you get the best result from the discs.
So we've come back a week later to the crop to see how it's getting on. It's already starting to establish, and we can quite clearly see we've got some vetch here, grass. They've just come up in the last week or so, and they'll keep growing for another few weeks until the maize cover shades it out, and it will sit there dormant until harvest. Upon harvest, we'll have a perfect green cover across the whole field, meaning that we won't have any soil loss or nutrient loss over winter. So, as we mentioned, at harvest time, when those machinery is trafficking across the field, this grass will be in place with the rooting structure helping to support that machinery. Hopefully, this will prevent further soil damage from rutting and trafficking during those wet harvest periods. So this field here is very flat, so we're very unlikely to see any soil erosion or nutrient loss from this field over winter. But the river is only 20 metres off the side of the field here, so if this were a sloping field, soil erosion post-maize without a winter wheat crop established would stand a risk of soil erosion. So the undersowing service is paramount to trying to prevent that. With the weather patterns that we've been getting over the last few years, establishing winter wheat crops after maize has been problematic throughout the county. So this undersowing service is a prime example of a way to combat that issue and give you a clean entrance into a spring crop the following year.